Without further ado, I would like to pass the floor to Professor Yu Han Kim, the immediate past president of AASSA, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Prof. Kim, the floor is yours.
This project was originally, first page. Okay, this project was originally initiated by the AASSA, European Academic Science Advisory Council, in November 2016, and through some steps, they finally published their report in June 2019. You can see the front cover of the AASSA's report. Then the German National Academy of Science Leopoldina secured funding and support from the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research, and the IAP decided to extend this project to other continents as well. And they chose AASSA for Asia and Oceania region, and IANAS for North and South Americas, and NASAC for Africa. And the leaders of this project is from the IAP, Professor Volker Tomoilen, co-chair of the IAP, co-president of the IAP, and Professor Andy Haynes, co-chair of this project, and Dr. Robin Fierce and Dr. Claudia Canales. And from the AASSA's part, I was in full charge of this project, but I asked Professor Khairul Anwar bin Abdullah, then president-elect of the AASSA, to take charge of the preparation of this report, because by profession, he's a medical doctor, so he must know much more than myself on this project. And then this IAP's Climate Change and Health Project was approved by the IAP Executive Committee in April 2019, and they called a kickoff meeting on 3rd to 5th of November 2019. It was held in German National Academy of Science Leopoldina in Halle, Germany, and the participants were representatives from IAP, AASSA, AASSA, IANAS, NASAC, and IPCC. And the AASSA's participants was myself and Professor Khairul Anwar bin Abdullah and Professor Ho Kim of Korea. And the major decisions made at the kickoff meeting was scope and design of the project, common template to be followed by the regional affiliates of the IAP, and roadmap and timetable and budget. Then on the AASSA's part, the general administrative and financial management was entrusted to the AASSA Secretariat and also the Korean Academy. And the preparation of the report was entrusted to the Academy of Sciences Malaysia, and project leader, as I mentioned before, was Professor Khairul Anwar bin Abdullah. And I assembled the working group as indicated in the table. In the East Asia, especially China and Korea, Professor Peng Gong and Ho Kim was originally recommended by the IAP, I think by Professor Haynes. And then I asked the Global Young Academy to recommend some experts, young experts to this project, and I received 3 nominations, but one nominee was not, I think, in full grasp of this project, so I excluded her, and I chose Dr. Shabana Khan and Dr. Meghnad Dimar from India and Nepal, respectively. And then I asked each member of member academies of AASSA to nominate their own national representative, and I assembled 15 national representatives, and also in view of the importance of this project in the Pacific Island region, I asked Professor Colin, screen is too far from from me, so I cannot read it. But anyway, upon the recommendation of Australia and New Zealand Academy, okay, and I asked some other non-member countries of Asia, for example, Cambodia and other countries, and they actually agreed to send the nominees to me, and also they nominated several representatives, but they didn't send their manuscript. Okay, so unhappily, I couldn't include those countries in our report. Okay, and then we had page. And then we held first working group meeting. It was an in-person meeting held 24th and 25th of February 2020, held in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We were very fortunate because we had held this meeting just before the total lockdown was imposed by many countries. For example, when I came back to Korea after this meeting, about 5 days later, Koreans were not allowed to go to the foreign countries. Okay. So at that in-person meeting, we had occasion to discuss the total framework of this report and also the templates and also the timetables, etc. So the main frame of this work was already determined at this meeting. And then we held 2 more meetings, these times in virtual space on 17th of June and also the 8th of October. So the major event was in July 2020, we signed the service contract between Leopoldina and KAST, because Leopoldina was the host academy of the whole project, and they managed the funding from the German Ministry of Science. And then we first completed the first draft in January 2021, and we've completed final draft in June, and in July for August we sent the final draft to the peer reviewers, and then also after the peer reviewers review, we asked endorsement from the AASSA member academies, and we finalized our report as the official publication of the AASSA. And after the editing by the IAP in October 2021, we finally published the AASSA's report. The front cover of this report is, as you see this on this screen, and it closely resembles the front cover of the AASSA, because in final form, AASSA, IANAS, and NASA's reports will be coordinated and also edited into one global version. So to maintain the uniformity, we chose the similar design for the front cover. Okay. This is the main points of how we carried out this project by AASSA. And in closing, I would like to thank all the participants in the project, the working group members, national representatives, peer reviewers, and also the supporting staff of AASSA, KAST, Malaysian Academy of Science, inter-academic partnerships, Leopoldina for their dedication, time, and effort. Finally, I would like to express my profound gratitude to the late Professor Khairul Anwar bin Abdullah, and pray to the God, most gracious and most Almighty God, to grant eternal peace to his soul. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Kim, for the wonderful speech.